So let's get to the marks. This question is on titrations. Why don't you pause the video and have a go at the question, and then I'll go through the walkthrough with each stage. All right, let me go through the stem of the question first. So question 2. This question is about an experiment to determine the solubility of strontium hydroxide in water at 20 degrees. Strontium hydroxide is slightly soluble in water. Strontium hydroxide solution reacts in a similar way to calcium hydroxide solution. Some solid strontium hydroxide is added to approximately 1 decimeter of distilled water in a stoppered flask. The mixture is kept at 20 degrees. Every day the mixture is checked. If no solid is present in the flask, more solid strontium hydroxide is added. On the day when no more solid needs to be added, the flask is opened and the mixture is filtered into another flask and stoppered. A 25 centimeter cube sample of the filtrate is transferred to a conical flask with a pipette and a few drops of indicator added. This sample is titrated with 0.1 mole per decimeter hydrochloric acid. The titration is repeated several times with further samples of filtrate. The results are shown in table 1 on page 8. So the results are shown down here. We can see table 1 is there. Let's go back up. Okay, 2.1. Suggest why the solution is kept until no more solid needs to be added. Okay. 2.2 suggests why it is important to remove the undissolved strontium hydroxide before the titration. And 2.3, after the filtration, the solution is stored in a stoppered flask. Suggest the reason for stoppering the flask. Pause the video, have a go. Okay, I'm going to go through the answers. So, suggest why the solution is kept until no more solid needs to be added. So what they're doing here, they're adding this strontium hydroxide, which is sparingly soluble, and then they're leaving it to ensure that as much strontium hydroxide as possible can dissolve in that set amount of water. And they are trying to make a saturated solution. So to make a saturated solution, or you could say, if you prefer this wording, to ensure, yeah, let's just stick with a saturated solution. I was going to say to ensure the maximum amount of strontium hydroxide that's possible dissolves in the water. So there we go. That's going to get us a mark. Suggest why it's important to remove the undissolved strontium hydroxide before the titration. So in the conical flask or in their beaker, they've got this strontium hydroxide. They've got excess solid strontium hydroxide floating inside there. We need to filter that off, because when we start adding the acid, when we're doing the titration, and remember we're titrating it with hydrochloric acid, we're going to use the molar amounts to calculate the concentration of the strontium hydroxide, because we don't know the concentration of that solution. And so if there is any strontium hydroxide left just floating, that's going to react with some of the acid, and we are going to get a larger result. We're going to think that more acid was needed to react with the solution, when really it's not reacting with the solution, it's reacting with the unreacted floating strontium hydroxide. So what we want to say here, because the excess strontium hydroxide, I say excess, the undissolved strontium hydroxide is what I mean, will react with the HCl. What is HCl? It is acid. So HCOAQ is acid, and this will result in a larger titra. This will result in a larger titra. And also that, what is the result of that? If you have a larger titra, it means if we're trying to calculate what the real concentration of the strontium hydroxide is, we're going to get, our concentration is going to end up being too high. We're going to think it's stronger than it really is, because the acid has been getting neutralized by some of the undissolved strontium hydroxide. Anywho, let's move on before I waffle, and you grow a big fat beard. 2.3. After the filtration, the solution is stored in a stoppered flask. So just the reason for stoppering the flask. So there's a couple of reasons why you stopper the flask. The main one for me is that you want to put a bung in the top of the volumetric flask after the filtration or whatever, because you don't want any of the water to evaporate. What would happen if water evaporated from the flask? Well, it would change the concentration. The volume would change. So we want to prevent evaporation of water. So we want to prevent the evaporation of water. And I've just noticed that I have spelt saturated way wrong over here. So it should be like that, saturated. Coolio. All right, let's move on because I am taking ages on this paper. I don't know why, but I'm in a waffling mood today. 2.4, the diagrams in figure 2 show the part of the pipette with the graduation line. Which diagram identifies the pipette that is correctly filled? So a pipette is an instrument called a volumetric pipette, and we use that pipette to transfer accurate volumes or precise volumes of liquid from one place to another. Now, which of these, this is the graduation line, which of these have we correctly filled the pipette? And you should know, why don't you have a go? And the answer, the correct answer I'm going to explain here is C. And the idea is that when you have a liquid, you're going to get this thing called the meniscus. The meniscus is this bend. You need to make sure that the bottom of the meniscus, the bottom of the bend, rests on the graduation line. And so it always has to be like that, okay? That would be saying the top of the meniscus, the top of the curve rests on the graduation line. It's the bottom of the meniscus that must rest on the graduation line. Okay, let's move on. Don't know why it's coming out in purple, but there we go. Okay, here we go. 2.5. Solubility can be quoted as G of solute per 100 centimeter cubed of solution. That's grams of solute per 100 centimeter cubed of solution. Table 1 shows the results of the titrations between strontium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid. These can be used to determine the solubility of strontium hydroxide. So we want to find out how soluble strontium hydroxide is. Okay, we've got the final burette reading and we've got the initial, so we can work out the titra. You work out the titra by doing final minus the initial, and they've done a rough titration. Now, you never have to pay attention to the rough titration. That is purely, yeah, you don't need to pay attention to that, guys. Right, give the equation for the reaction between strontium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid. Use the results table. Use the results in table 1 to calculate the mean titra. Use the mean titra to calculate the solubility of strontium hydroxide in grams per 100 centimeter cubed of solution at 20 degrees. So I'm kind of looking like you're going to get a mark for that, for giving the equation. You're going to get a mark for calculating the mean titra, and then 4 marks for this calculation, which will enable you to work out the solubility of strontium hydroxide in grams per 100 centimeter cubed. Why don't you press pause on the video? Have a go at this one with your calculator, your pen and your paper. All right, I'm going to go through the answers. So let's go. First things first, we need to write a reaction between strontium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid. Now, they told us somewhere in the stem, far up there, they told us that it reacts in a similar fashion to, oh my gosh, I can't speak, to calcium, didn't they? So I'm going to write it here. So what was it? Strontium. What is the symbol for strontium? I think it's Sr. So it's going to be strontium hydroxide. Now, strontium hydroxide is in group 2. Well, strontium's in group 2, and hydroxide ions have a charge of -1. So with that in mind, we should be able to formulate an equation. Strontium hydroxide must have the formula Sr bracket OH with a little baby 2 afterwards. Now, what else do we need to know? It's reacting with hydrochloric acid. And do we need to put state symbols for this? Maybe, maybe not. And hydrochloric acid will be AQ, and so will the strontium hydroxide is going to be solid. No, it's not. It's going to be AQ because we made a solution. I'm talking out my bum. Why wouldn't it be solid? Well, they filtered off the excess solid, the undissolved strontium hydroxide. So we're left with the solution, and that's what we're going to want to find the solubility out. Right, so we're going to react this hydrochloric acid with that, and what are we going to make? We're going to make strontium chloride. Now, chloride ions are -1, so we're going to get the similar situation. It's going to be SrL2, and we are going to get H2O because you're going to make acid and base, acid and alkali. You're going to make salt and water. So my salt is going to be aqueous, and my water is liquid, I believe. There we go. Right. Okay, is it balanced? One SR. I've got 2 H's there, 2 O's. I've got 1 H there. That's 5 H's altogether. If I come over here, no, it's not balanced, is it? I need another Cl, so that's going to take care of that and make it 6 H's. No, 1, 2, 3, 4 H's. Sorry. Oh my God, I can't add up. So there were 2 H's there, 2 there. That's for 2 O's and 2 O's. Yeah, we're balanced now, guys. We're balanced now. Oh my gosh, that was difficult. Sorry, I couldn't fit it in. No, did he? Right, let's move on. Okay. So what we got going on? We have we got the equation. So that's going to give us a mark, isn't it, for that lovely equation over here on the right-hand side. We're now going to use that. We're now going to calculate the mean titra. Let's do that bit next. Okay. So for the mean titri. What I'm going to look at, we want to get rid of the rough. You never use that. We want to find concordant results. So let's look at the titra. 32.45, 33, and 32.4. Right, we can get rid of that. Why? It's not within one decimal place. These guys are within zero point 0.1 of each other. And so we're going to add these two bad boys together. We're going to divide by 2. So the mean titra is going to be 32. Oh my days. I'm writing in white on a white page. That is just dumb. 32.40 plus 32.45 and then divide by 2. So what does that give us? 32.40 plus 32.45 divided by 2. That gives us 48 point, what the hell? I think I've gone a bit bonkers, folks. Yeah, I've gone bonkers. 32.425. How did I not know that, eh? Well, gone a bit bonkers. And that's centimeter cubed. Right, we've got the mean titra. So that's how much hydrochloric acid it took to neutralize the strontium hydroxide. That is going to get us another mark there. Now, you could round that to 42.3, and on the mark scheme, they might tell you, sorry, I can't even speak today. You could round that to 32.43, and some people on mark schemes will do that, but you could equally keep it as 32.425. But if you want to go to 2DP, 32.43. Okay, let's zing on because we've got another 4 fat marks to get here. Use the mean titra to calculate the solubility of strontium hydroxide. So what I want to do here is calculate the moles. With titrations, you're always going to need moles. We love some moles. So N over C times V. And I'm going to be able to calculate the moles of acid. Why? Well, I know that this is how much hydrochloric acid was used. And when we told the concentration of the hydrochloric acid solution, I believe we were, and I'm going to scroll up for 2 seconds just to check. I believe we were told it was 0.1. Got to go all the way up here. Check that out there, guys. 0.1 mole per decimeter of hydrochloric acid. And we're doing that against 25 centimeters of strontium hydroxide solution. So let's scroll back down. I didn't want to delete all my bits. So we've got 0.1. So conc equals 0.1, and that's going to be mole dm minus 3. And our volume is obviously 32.425. Now that's centimeter cubed. Notice there's a clash. I need to turn the volume into mole. I need to turn it into decimeter, sorry. So I need to divide by 1,000, so to speak. And that is going to give me 0.032 425. There we go. Oh my gosh, 32. Something wrong with my button. 425. And that is dm minus 3. Oh, dm. Gosh, I'm going crazy. So there we've got the volume. There we've got the conc. I want to multiply C times V. So, and that is going to give me moles of hydrochloric acid that were used. And that is going to enable me to know how many moles were in the 25 centimeters. So let's do that. So let's work out how many moles of HCl there were. So I'm going to go 0.1. I'm going to multiply that by 0.032425. Sounds like a telephone number. And that is going to give me 0.032425. So 0.00, sorry, 32425. So we've got an extra zero, of course, because we times by 0.1. So that is moles. And you might be thinking, with titrations, it's always good to make a note of what you just calculated. So that's moles of acid. Now I know the moles of acid. That we got rid of the undissolved. So that is telling me how many moles of strontium hydroxide were in the 25 centimeters. How do I know that? Well, let's check the ratio. It's 1 to 2. So we have a ratio of 1 to 2. So I'm going to have half as much strontium hydroxide neutralized this here. So I need to do my next calculation. The ratio is 1 to 2. So we have half as much SrOH2. So we have half as much. So I'm going to need to do 0.0032425 divided by 2. And that is going to get me 0.0016225. So that gives me 0.00162 125, and that is moles of not but moles of strontium hydroxide solution, right? We've now worked out the moles. Now, you might think what normally in titrations, your next step is to go ahead and work out the concentration. We're not really bothered about the concentration here because we're going to turn this into grams because they want to know how many G's in 100 centimeters. Well, that's how many moles are in 25 centimeter cubed. Remember, this was in the stem right at the top of the question. This was a 25 centimeter cubed sample. So we want to find out, okay, how much is in 100? So we're going to get a mark for working out the moles of the hydrochloric acid, and we should really get a mark for working out the moles of the strontium hydroxide. And now what we need to do is times this by 4. So times 4 times our moles by 4. You could turn it to mass and times that by 4. I'm timesing it at the mole stage. Doesn't really matter which stage you times it by 4, but there needs to be a times by 4 in there. I now know that I've got 0.006485 moles in 100 centimeter cubed, and all we've got to do to find out the solubility is find out how much that is in grams. So what we're going to do now is work that out in grams. I know I've got that many moles, so I'm going to need to bust out the equation. You know the coup. It is mass over mR times moles. So mass equals Mr. Moles. And of course, mass is in G, and that is what we were after. As it said here, calculate G per 100. So we now know moles. So we're going to do 0.00648 and we're gonna times that by mR of strontium hydroxide. What the hell is strontium hydroxide? I can tell you that 17 times 2 is 34 for the two hydroxides, but what is the strontium ion? Is it 86? Let's check it out. I've got the periodic table somewhere up here. Bosh, where are you, strontium? 87.6. I knew it was a roundy, something like that. Okay, so we're looking at 87. Whoa, 87.6. Okay, so we're going to times this by bracket 87.6 plus 17 whoops times 2. So yes, how am I going to work that out? Let's do that. Okay, times 87.6 plus 34, close bracket, and that equals 0.788576. So that equals 0.788576. And why am I typing in black on a black screen? I have no idea. Can I do this in it? Can I change the color of this, please, Bob? Can I change that? Are you gonna let me change that? No, you're gonna let me change that. I better put that in white here. Okay, guys, because can't really see that on that screen. So that's what we're looking at. That's the MR. Okay, that's the MR of strontium hydroxide. And so what we've just worked out here is we've got 0.788576 G per 100 centimeter cubed. And there's your final marks, final pieces of the puzzle. Now, do I want to am I going to get the mark for that, or do I need to round it? I think we're either going to go to 0.789, 3 significant figures, or we go to 2DP, 0.79 grams per 100 centimeter cubed. What do you think? This is where I'll probably flop, but I'm going to go to 3 significant figures. It's my when in doubt, do 3 significant figures. And so I'm doing that per 100 centimeter cubed. There we go. And that's my final answer. So that should get us all of the marks. Boom!
You're still here? It's over.